ladies and gentlemen, I had to do it again one more time for the one more time. It's the last reaction of the day for real. This one popped up on the feed, bro. I got to. I did one for Arrow Assassin. I got to do one for Hiryo.
Blue Lock's France match is debatably the hardest game in the entire series to this date. With Julian Loki, the best U20 player we've seen so far.
And speaking of, chapter come out next week too. You know what I'm saying? I believe, hopefully. I hope so. I think I'm right. I hope I'm right.
An additional new-gen midfielder who's already proven himself in one chapter, and the youngest prodigy in France, Blue Lock, are going to have a difficult time in this match. Yeah. It becomes even worse when France are the favorites to win in both the manga and in the fan base, and 90% of us already know we're cooked, but we know our boys won't sit idly, especially Isagi Yoichi. As the
niggas think these niggas, they think Blue Lock finna get 1-4. Like, bro, I think we could get a few more up in there. Like, you feel me? It don't gotta be total domination. Like, we could get a few goals up in there. You know, it don't even gotta be Isagi scoring, you know? Because, you know, niggas is saying downfall for Isagi. So, you know, if it truly is a downfall for Isagi this game, it don't gotta be just, you know, Isagi scoring. It could be Ren. It could be, hopefully if they sub in Shido, he could score. Baro could score. Chigiri could score maybe at the cost of maybe his leg. I don't know. Hopefully not. I don't want my dog to get hurt. But you know, people been saying it's his time is almost here. You know, and I hope it's not, but you know, with the tarot cards and shit that he was involved with in the episode 9 shit, it's just, I don't know, it's possible. I just don't know, bro. But Rayo could score also, Bachata could score. You know, a lot of people could score besides Isagi. So, you know, I feel like we could still lose, but it don't got to be total evisceration. You feel me?
Number 1 of Blue Lock and the title of a Demon King and adaptability genius, this is yet another obstacle in his path to become the number 1. So how will Isagi overcome this almost impossible obstacle? Which is why I'll be going over what I think will happen to Isagi and how this France game will be the key to his newest awakening on his path to become the best player in the world. But first, we need to understand the role of each character in France.
Okay.
Loki is treated as the biggest and main problem for Japan for a good reason. His Godspeed is absolutely insane, and that weapon alone has brought him to the top of the U20 category. Charles, we saw a lot during a PXG, and he's sort of an underrated character as seen by his most recent goal, almost unpredictable at that. And of course, we have Hugo, the newly introduced New Gen 11, and who I think will be the biggest problem for Isagi this match, even over Loki. Ever since he was first introduced, it was hyping up their inevitable face-off and rivalry by Hugo calling him unsuitable. So right away, we kind of knew Hugo would be some sort of intelligent player or very similar to Isagi.
You know, also, with the downfall thing with Isagi, it brings me back to a panel where he was talking about like feeling that soccer stimulus. You know, he was saying smashing my expectation into others, pleasure, frustration, adapting to things, even despair, all of it. He said bring it all on. He wants to live on his battlefield and meet a new me. Give me that soccer stimulation. So even despair is those things that he wants to feel, you feel me? So this is gonna lead to his evolution. This nigga is he's not going down. He's going to be number 1. Stop
playstyle, which is why he can call it unsuitable. Either that or bro is just a D1 hater. In the first chapter though, we see him prove his intelligence. Now the official chapter isn't out at the time of this recording, only the leaks are, so I can't use the panels, but we saw pretty much 3 things from Hugo. Him directing the team, him beating Isagi and Rin in a 1v2, and getting a perfect pass off to Charles, leading to a goal in the first minutes of the game. Which is absolutely insane to me. Like, they only scored 2 goals against England, but scored in the first minutes against us. With no sweat. It might just be raps. So you see why that's the common belief for this game. France has a very good chance of winning it. Japan is going to lose and get quote-unquote humbled. field and having to use it as a learning experience. It's also been a while since Blue Lock or Isagi has lost a game, and narratively it just makes sense for them to lose this game so that the stakes are higher for the last England game, and when they eventually rematch France, they can fix their mistakes from this group stage game. Not to mention, if they're going to lose a match, it probably makes sense to lose to the #1 ranked team, Loki, Charles, and Hugo being there as well. But if that's the case and Japan does lose against France, I think this loss will hit the most for Isagi Yoichi, which is who we're here for, right? Even before the game, he was literally talking about it. He explained in the bathroom how he became the nucleus of Blue Lock, and if his condition slips or he messes up and loses, all of Blue Lock would collapse alongside him. Basically, Isagi saying he the most important person in the room, but it's damn near true, so I don't even blame him. So to break it down for y'all, Isagi has all of this pressure on him, and if he loses, then that pressure and guilt is gonna come all over him.
Like, maybe they could like back it up, like Isagi can't play at his best, but like, you know, Blue Lock is still, you know, hold their own. You know, maybe it's just in his head. He thinks like, I'm such the nucleus, because you know, we know ego is such a factor in the show, in this manga and, you know, anime. I mean, but like, we know, like, I'm the nucleus. Like, I'm everything to this team. If I'm not good, then the whole team not good. You feel me? It's still partly true, but like, I still feel like they could hold their own to a certain degree. You know, because they still have Ren, they still have Batra, they still have Rayo, they still have Chigiri, you know. And then even then they still have this fucking people on the bench, you know, because that's not even starting. So, you know, people can still provide.
And he'll be blaming himself for Blue Lock's loss. However, we know our boy Isagi. Whenever he loses, he'll get back up, he'll adapt, he'll learn, because that's what our boy does. It's how he's gotten so far in Blue Lock in the first place. The only reason why this time is different, though, is because Isagi has to overcome multiple obstacles rather than just one. And this is the main problem that he'll be facing throughout this game. Usually in the games, there is just one obstacle holding Isagi back. For example, in Manshine, it was his body, which he fixed in Ubers by training his lefty shot. During the Ubers match, he couldn't visualize winning against Baro and Kaiser, so he needed Hiyori as a game changer to help, after which he scored. During PXG, the game infamous for a bunch of different problems, it was still only one obstacle at a time. Whether it was Rin and countering him with the Kaiser team up, Noah basically using him and him returning back to 0 to say, I don't need you anymore, or Ness and reading his awakening the fastest. And finally for Nigeria, yeah, there was no obstacles there. The only thing there was Kuso's glazing, but the whole point is that when Isagi faces a problem or has an obstacle in his way, it's usually one at a time. And our boy, time and time again, has proven that he'll adapt. There's one problem, Isagi finds one solution. But this time around, it's gonna be multiple problems affecting him at once. We already talked about the pressures of failing Blue Lock because he's the nucleus, and that's one problem. But there is also the pressure of being the #1 player, which is the second obstacle that he'll have to face. Holding the title of the strongest, you have to live up to those expectations. This is the first time that Isagi has really set a bar so high for himself, and there are a ton of Isagi fans canonically. I mean, they were holding a damn flag for bro in the opening chapter. And I would say even us as readers have set a high bar for Isagi. I see so many people defending him, fully trusting in our boy that he's gonna humble France and Loki, going against the popular belief of his downfall.
Listen, we know, we have this established. Let's get this established right now. We know they're gonna lose to France. But I believe, and I say a lot of the people in the community believe, Isagi is going to figure out something about Loki that he can exploit to adapt to Loki somehow, some way. Similar to how he, you know, adapted to Baro in a way. You know, when he was learning about his fucking, his shot, what do you call it? His shot range is what I'm trying to say. And I have to even go to say even against Ren too, because I'm pretty sure he lost a couple of times against Ren. No, he lost, I think, all of his matches against Ren. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, but yeah, he uses those matches to adapt, and he did adapt in those matches. He even made plays in those matches, you know, to where he could even score. So it's possible Isagi could score in this match as well. So even though that contradicts my statement earlier about him not scoring and shit, you know, he could have a moment where he does, you know, at least score one goal at least. But they still lose, of course. But, you know, these are all just theories.
I don't need to explain the Isagi Glazers for y'all to know about it. So you see how everyone has set this bar so high for Isagi. The expectations are high both canonically in the story, since he's the
Fuck, get this shit out of here. Damn,
number one, and for us as readers. Now he has to live up to those expectations, which is added pressure, and what he talked about before this match too. It's another obstacle that he has to overcome. If he ends up succeeding and winning, then everything's good. We get the happy ending, Isagi's the GOAT and whatnot. But if he fails, there is so much for him to lose. Uneasy is the head that wears the crown. In the story, there will be people's doubts. Maybe his own confidence goes down. The stress of trying to live up to everyone's expectations and satisfy them. And in real life and social media for us readers, I just know Isagi is going to undergo so much slander. All the Isagi haters have a file of mid-Sagi slander ready to go, as well as the Isagi fans will be wondering why he failed. So you see how the weight of being number one and just Isagi Yoichi in general is massive. If he loses or doesn't meet his expectations, he will have to deal with the repercussions of it. But now that we know all the stakes, how does this connect with the France game? Well, I think Blue Lock and Isagi will lose this game to France, so he's gonna have to pretty much undergo all those obstacles that I just talked about. Of course, another additional obstacle is Julian Loki, who I don't even need to explain why he's a problem for this game. We're not gonna focus on him too much this video because I think there's an even bigger reason why they lost. And more specifically, I think they'll lose because Isagi quote-unquote loses to Hugo, which I think is going to be one of the best matchups in this game, and also the third and final obstacle for Isagi. But this video is about Isagi's awakening and not his downfall.
Say Itoshi. Like, nigga, like, you not the best midfielder, nigga. Say Itoshi. Like, watch out. Trying to be all nonchalant. Nigga got the little eyelashes and shit. It's cool, but like, nigga, you gotta say Itoshi in the cut. Nigga in Tokyo, bro. Like, watch out, bro.
And I think this matchup against Hugo will be the key to his newest awakening or awakenings, because I think Isagi will have two of them. First things first, we have barely seen Hugo. Like, he's just a big question mark at the moment. One chapter leak at the time of this video, so I could be completely wrong about my analysis on him. But from what we've seen so far, we know he's a smart player. Bro was hitting the books in his first appearance, and he blitzed Isagi and Rin to get it past the Charles. I think this feat alone kind of hints towards what he's good at, or potentially even his weapon. And that's moving so quickly that he doesn't give you time to think, and then using that opportunity to use his brain. To break it down in simpler terms, Hugo is a player that uses his game IQ reactively. And we see that kind of with this play. He dribbles past Isagi, and then Rin comes in, knows in his mind he needs to use his hands to stop him, and then gets a pass off before they can catch back up to him. Everything about that play, from reacting to Rin and blocking him, to making a split-second decision to get an assisting pass to Charles, just shows his game IQ.
No, and thinking about this in real time, like, don't even think about it in manga. Just literally think about it like in the flow, like literally in real time. That's a real quick ass play, because that setup is insane. Nigga, and how fast Charles scored is scary. I ain't gonna count.
Is high in reflex. This is the complete opposite of Isagi's thinking, who has a more proactive way of thinking, where he tries to look around for the best option or what might happen and then shape that outcome. The literal definition of proactive thinking. It's also because of Isagi's high game IQ too, where he can predict things very accurately, as seen with the Nigeria game where he found a way to win in the first minutes. So Isagi is a way more suited towards this way of thinking, because metavision is his weapon. That's literally metavision. I don't blame Isagi for thinking this way, especially because it's worked out for him so well so far. But against someone who can think reactively like Hugo and still calculate the best options every single time, you're gonna lose because they act faster than you. This is why Isagi lost against Hugo, because Hugo simply acted faster, his thinking was faster. Even if you scale their game IQ to be similar, Hugo was the one to take action first. It also just lines up with how he dictated the game and why France plays so quickly, because he also plays quickly. His thinking is quick, it's reactive. It's quick, there isn't much to explain. Hugo is pretty much a parallel of Isagi who favors a reactive style over a proactive style, which explains why he calls Isagi unsuitable, because he thinks his way of thinking is better than Isagi's. Now, that's not to say that both of them can't do one or the other. Like, it's not saying that Isagi can't think reactively, because we've seen him do it. It's his reflex thinking. But since Isagi calculates more than reacting, that is why Hugo calls him unsuitable. So that's kind of my key takeaway prediction on Hugo's character. Now, you might be wondering, how the hell does this relate to Isagi's awakening? The more I talk, it just sounds like Isagi is gonna keep having his downfall, but trust me and trust in our boy. Even if his awakening doesn't happen in this game and they still lose, I think Isagi will get the major takeaway from playing against Hugo, that he needs to start thinking reactively. Isagi can't...
There was even this theory that, like, Ego left the formation the same because he wants to use this as a lesson for them to get better, so that when they face them, like, in the finals or whatever, it's like all their cards weren't displayed and shown, and they actually took away from the game and learned from the game. And, you know, they're watching, you know, they're still watching film on France and shit like that, yada yada, shit like that. And, you know, it's a risk, you know, because they, you know, they could lose. They could not pass and shit, lose to England too. But, you know, I think Eagles willing to take that risk. Mr. Take That Risk, I was going live on it, you know, feel me?
And just analyze the field anymore. Yes, Metavision is good, and it's gotten us plenty of wins. I'm not saying throw it out of the window. It's still really good, but Isagi needs to make those plays himself, and that's what he'll realize. And the reason why I thought of all of this is because it links to Isagi's 45-day training of a game-changing moments. Hugo and his way of thinking is the literal example of the game-changing moments that Isagi studies. As we saw by that one play, it's what Ego was teaching Isagi, and that's going to be his newest awakening. By not just calculating the game, but also forcing the game to go in his favor by his actions, his game-changing moments, Isagi is going to be a better player, one step closer towards that #1 spot. Because even if you think of the best option or a way to win, like Isagi does with Metavision, it's useless unless you're able to act upon it. Now, that's just one part of his awakening, because it affects the second part of it. When Isagi is forcing the game to go his way, he's inherently going to be more selfish. That's why I said he's going to have two awakenings earlier. Turning more selfish mentally is one, and having his playstyle be more selfish through forcing options is the other. We already talked about him forcing options through his game-changing moments, but turning more selfish mentally, Isagi is going to start caring less and less about people's expectations of him. Because, of course, like we talked about earlier, those expectations were putting so much pressure on Isagi, like being the #1 and whatnot. Instead, he's simply going to care more about his own goal of becoming the best striker in the world. Being more selfish, forcing goals himself, even when there isn't any opportunity, by his game-changing moments. And all of that connects to what Kaneshiro said about Isagi's character. Will you still love Isagi till the end? Because now, he doesn't care about the people's expectations of him, he only cares about himself, which is the true egoist mentality. Maybe some of Isagi's selfish plays even affect the other blue lockers too, giving that statement an even deeper meaning and turning the situation into a moral dilemma. Like, do you support Isagi's selfish actions if it's to become the best in the world, even if it means the cost of others that we've grown to love so far? Like I said before though, I don't think this awakening will happen during the game. I still think France will win against Blue Lock, but this game will be the catalyst for Isagi's next awakening, perhaps in the England game or later on in the World Cup. This is because after the match, I still think Isagi has to undergo the pressures of being #1, not living up to people's expectations, and the scrutiny that comes with failing. That's just going to be another character arc for him. It'll come from both the story, because Isagi is pretty much the face of Blue Lock, and because Blue Lock lost against France, Isagi's going to take most of the blame, and also in real life because there was going to be Isagi slander everywhere saying he fell off. But what we'll also see is Isagi's growth throughout it. How does he deal with those mental struggles and pressures of being at the top now that he's reached it? I'm sure that any player at the top has actually gone through this before too. And even though they lost the France game, Isagi still got a big hint towards his next awakening from Hugo, and just playing in the game in general, so it's not a complete loss for him. So that's how I think Isagi's story is going to go for this next match. That's the best theory that I can come up with, considering that Blue Lock is probably going to lose against France. It gives us the Isagi struggle arc arc, Isagi redemption arc, as well as his newest awakening, when he comes back stronger like he always does. But anyways, that about wraps it up for this video. Like I said,
God aspect of you know, the God symbolism for 7 minutes, whatever. I forgot what fucking Ego said, but you know, the God of soccer shit that could lead back to that with him thinking more what was it, reactively instead of proactively. Yeah, proactive thinking is thinking of metavision, is using metavision, but reactively thinking is more so Hugo's type style. So yeah, that could lead back to the God of soccer shit. I think so.
Earlier, this is a very early theory. We had one chapter.
The God of soccer shit could literally relate to characters as well. It could be multiple things too. Honestly, it could be this what I'm talking about. It could be fucking talking about Nagi and Isagi facing off, or not Nagi, Isagi and Kaiser facing off again, because you know, God Emperor or whatever. What is Kaiser's fucking nickname or whatever? What do you call it? Emperor or some shit? The fuck is his fucking name? I low-key forgot. Wait, what was it? God's chosen emperor? Yeah, that shit. Like, come on. It could be them facing, it could be all of it, honestly. Like, whatever kind of shit has cooking, it could be
come out for this game. So by the next chapter,
we don't know how long Blue Lock could be too either.
Theory might not even be valid, so take it all with a grain of salt. I am curious as to what y'all think though. I've seen so many people talk about Isagi's downfall, including myself, so I wanted to give a theory focusing on his awakening. If you made it to the end though, thank you so much for watching as always. YouTube really thinks you like this video right here, so be sure to check that one out too. I love y'all so much, and I'll see y'all in the next.
Yeah, I already watched this one, but y'all should definitely go check out his channel. I'm gonna leave the videos, link in the description as always, as I do with every other video. But yeah, I definitely like this theory, and I think I'm gonna like not do these type videos a lot. I think I'm gonna just do them like with theories I really am intrigued about and that like I really want to watch. Then I'll record it with y'all, because you know, I just feel like I should do more reactions. I've been lacking a little bit, and I kind of been slacking. You know, been sitting here lazy as hell, been bullshitting. But you know, I enjoyed this video. I love Blue Lock. I can see this happening for Isagi because he does really utilize metavision to the T. There's been signs of him kind of just winking it a little bit. You know, with his goal against Nigeria, it's kind of like he didn't really plan it. He kind of just winged it. He told Aiku, and I just like, I don't kind of like that. It's like, what do you mean you just winged it? Like, you just didn't really, you kind of gambled it all again, sort of? Is that what you're trying to say? It kind of goes against what he said too, because he said don't win by accident, I think, and he said something else about it. I don't know what it was exactly. We're gonna see though. Let's see. It's 325 for sure. Oh shit, I didn't mean to put that. Wow, that's wild. Hold on. Don't win by accident. Make victory inevitable, but don't get trapped by a formula you created before. See, this sounds like he's like, all right, I know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm on my shit. Okay, lift it up, tap lift it, then raise myself in the air and kick it. You feel me? It's like he knew what to do. A reverse rapid side shot volley. And then we come here, right? You feel me? We're gonna go scroll down. He was like, that was a crazy new technique you tried out. How much of that did you plan? I already said this. I'm pretty sure I might have said this in my first the Aerial Assassin reaction video, but he was like, none of it. That last shot was a total ad-lib. Nigga, what? What are we saying, Isagi? What do you mean, brother? I need you to be knowing what you're doing. You know, you need to know. These need to be ideas that you know what you're creating. You know what you're like formulating. You need to know. This can't be just ad libs, like just shit you just doing off like instinct or whatever. You don't get fucking stuck. You don't get stagnant. If I'm tripping, let me know in the comments. But you feel me? It's just like, although I really don't want Isagi to have a downfall, or not really a downfall, but more of like a humbling of a sense. I don't want him to, I don't want my guy to get hit too hard. You feel me? This nigga my goat. You feel me? I want my boy to flourish, man. You feel me? Hold on. We gonna end it off with showing this chapter. I mean, showing off this page, bro, because this is just my favorite page of the whole game. Nigga just basking in aura. But yeah, man, that's my thinking on it. Hopefully my guy, I hope it's like a first selection, second selection thing where they lose obviously, but he still comes out learning. He either learns something mid game and scores, or he just learns something and he just takes it with him to upgrade his play. But hopefully they come out with some sort of good amount of points, and they don't get totally eviscerated, and they don't get fucking destroyed like here, like Nigeria. But yeah, bro, I will see y'all in the next video. 82 Society. If you want to see more blue light content like this, let me know by liking the video and subscribing and commenting, and let me know what y'all think. Let me know y'all theories. But I will see y'all in the next video, y'all. Peace.
Put my swag, she don't want to see me get up in my bed, ball up. Dumping in bag, friends when the turn and the haters, I'm watching her fall up. I just walked in the sack, she looking like she want to spit on my right. She looking like she want to spit on this debt. I think she just want to spend for the cash. I think she just want to spend for the money. That's probably why I'm a fucking in dash. Cut to her hold my DM, she looking good. She tell me she fucking with cash. We finna run a per diem.